Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. Before I get started on today's episode, just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, pushing to 3,000 subscribers. So if you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So the Miami Heat season has not gone to plan, obviously. The Miami Heat have 2 games left in the season, currently in the 10th seed, and it looks like we're stuck in the 10th seed. We're 1.5 games behind the Atlanta Hawks for the 8th seed. And it's not impossible. The Hawks can lose 2 games and the Miami Heat can win 2 games, but the Chicago Bulls are also ahead of us as well. They have 2 games remaining. All of us are playing against horrible teams, so it's very unlikely that the Miami Heat can be the 8th seed. They are stuck in the 9th or the 10th seed, and it's pretty much guaranteed the Miami Heat are going to be the 10th seed, meaning they're going to have to win 2 road games just to become the 8th seed to make it into the playoffs, to play against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the number 1 seed with the best record in the NBA, as the consolation prize for making the playoffs, which is not the best consolation prize. But either way, the Miami Heat have clinched another play-in berth, and it's the 3rd season in a row, and the Miami Heat cannot avoid the play-in. They're destined for the play-in, and that's not fun. But after entering the season with playoff hopes and expectations, the season obviously took a dramatic turn when Jimmy Butler requested a trade and was traded before the trade deadline. And this has been a horrible season for the Miami Heat right now. The Miami Heat literally have only beaten bad teams this entire season. So right now, Miami Heat have beat 9 total teams. They have 9 wins against teams that are above 500. So they're 9-25 against teams with a winning record. They're 27-19 against teams that are below 500. So they are only able to beat bad teams because they are obviously, in fact, a bad team themselves. So what's going to happen in the plan? Who knows? The Miami Heat plan on playing hard, and obviously they want to make it to the playoffs. That is their goal. This is what the front office said a few weeks ago, that they plan on making the playoffs with this roster. They want to get that experience because experience is key. But then a lot of other Heat fans are going to be upset if the Miami Heat do make the playoffs, because then they only get 1 draft pick. They get the 1 pick from the Golden State Warriors via the Jimmy Butler trade. And if they don't make the playoffs, then they get 2 picks. They get the pick back from the OKC Thunder that they owe them this season. And so the Miami Heat will most likely get, based on their record, 11th pick overall. They have a small chance of getting into the top 4, a 12% chance, but they have a 76% chance of getting the 11th pick. And so a lot of Heat fans don't want the Miami Heat to win next Wednesday when they do play in the play-in, most likely against the Chicago Bulls. That's not solidified, but it's very likely that the Atlanta Hawks are going to clinch the 8th seed tomorrow. If the Bulls lose tonight, then the Hawks do clinch that playoff spot, because I think they have the tiebreaker because they are the division leaders and they have a better record, I think, in the conference than the Bulls. They're head-to-head. I think they're tied 2-2. So it looks very likely that the Miami Heat are going to have to play the Chicago Bulls again at the United Center on the road in that 9-10 matchup. And most Heat fans want them to lose. I don't want my team to lose necessarily, but am I going to be upset if they lose? No, because then the constellation for us is we do get 2 picks. If we do get into the playoffs, we still get the Warriors pick, then we get some experience. And playoff experience is valuable. But again, I won't be upset if we make the playoffs, because then we get our lottery picks in the future protected, where we owe the Thunder and the Hornets a first round pick in 2026 and then 2028. And in case the Miami Heat suck again next season, because we're going to be basically running it back with the same team, if someone gets hurt like Bam Adebayo or Tyler Hero for the whole season, they're going to be even worse than this season. They're not going to be the 10th seed. They're going to be like the 13th seed. And then that lottery pick will go to the Thunder. So that's going to be tough. That would be a tough pill to swallow if you're a Miami Heat fan. So either way, it's a win-win for the Miami Heat if they make the playoffs or if they don't make the playoffs. in my opinion. And so, yeah, this season's been rough. And if we look at like the Miami Heat's rankings and statistics this season, it paints a picture of how bad they truly are. So let me share my screen. All right. So if we look at their team ranks, the Miami Heat are 25th in points per game. They're scoring only 110 points per game, which is horrible. So that's always been an issue. Their offense has been bad, defense has been carrying, and that's true this season as well. Rebounding, they're 22nd. So even with inserting Khalil Ware, putting him at the 5, putting Bam Adebayo back at his natural position at the 4, the Miami Heat are still struggling to rebound. Assists and steals, they're the middle of the pack. Blocks, they continue to have no rim protection. Again, even though they've put Khalil Ware in that starting lineup, they have a 7-footer. They are a bigger lineup with him in the lineup. Still ranked 30th in blocks per game. Then field goals, obviously, that aligns with their points per game. Free throws made, this is bad. Last season, they were a lot better. They're not getting to the free throw line, especially once they traded Jimmy Butler, who's a foul merchant. They're now 26th in free throws made, 27th in free throws attempted. Their percentages have gone up, which is good. They're back in top 10 at 8th. But yeah, they're just not a good scoring team, not a good rim protecting team. Um, can't get rebounds, can't get second chance opportunities. And that's been the story of the year for the Miami Heat. In terms of advanced stats, the Miami Heat, let's look at their offensive rating. One second. So in terms of their advanced stats, so offensive rating, the Miami Heat have fallen to 21. So their offensive rating is 112. So they're 21st in offensive rating. Defensive rating, they're back in the top 10. They were number 12 a few weeks ago. So their defense has been improving slightly, but it's not really equating to victories against good teams. Obviously, they could beat all the bad teams, like I mentioned earlier. They've only won 9 games against teams that are 500 and above. But yeah, they're still a top 10 defense. Defensive rating is 112.1. So that is still their identity, but they have trouble scoring, and that's very evident. We've seen in third quarters and fourth quarters where the Miami Heat have stalled. So 2 games left, and we're playing against the Pelicans. We're playing against the Wizards, two terrible teams. I think the Miami Heat should sit out Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, give them rest, and allow players like Kershaw Johnson and Josh Christopher an opportunity to shine and to see what they can do against NBA lineups, even though they're going to be playing against some pretty horrible NBA lineups because the entire Pelicans team is going to be sitting out tonight. No one is playing literally. Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk is out. Zion's out for the season. They have Murphy's out for the season. McCollum is out. So there are a ton of guys that are going to be out tonight. So I think Kashad should start. I think Josh Christopher should start. I think Isaiah Stevens, if he's available, should play. They just need to sit everybody out and maybe allow Andrew Wiggins to play so he can get some conditioning before they play against the Chicago Bulls, most likely next week in the play-in tournament. They have nothing to lose right now. And I think you just sit everybody and rest Bam and Tyler and see where the chips fall next Wednesday against the Bulls. It looks like we are going to lose to the Chicago Bulls because we just don't match up well with them. They're too fast. They play really well in transition, and they have a lot of size, and we have tough time scoring against them. And Josh Giddey has been destroying us, and Kobe White has been amazing for the past few weeks and just in this season in general. Their rookie Matas has been stepping up big time, and Vucevic has always been a Miami Heat killer. So it's going to be tough. Is it impossible to beat the Chicago Bulls? No, because they are a team that is below 500, and those are the only teams we could beat. But this is one of those teams that we can't beat. We're 0-3 against the Chicago Bulls, but you never know with this Miami Heat team. They're going to, try as hard as they can, and we'll see. Maybe the Miami Heat will be the first team from that 9 and 10 game play-in game to actually make the playoffs, because no 9 or 10 seed, I think, has made the playoffs yet. And this is going to be the 6th play-in for the NBA. So we'll see what happens. If anybody could do that, or any other team that could do that, it is definitely this Miami Heat team. So we'll see. I might be going to that game in Chicago as well if it is against the Chicago Bulls. So I don't know why I'm going to put myself through this, but I might buy tickets, fly to Chicago, go to the game with my friend who lives in Chicago. He's not a Chicago fan, but still, it would be fun. I've never been to the United Center. Used to be a Chicago Bulls fan when I was a kid when Michael Jordan played. So it'd be crazy to see my two teams, or my former team versus my current team. I've been a Heat fan for 26 years now. So maybe I'll go to the game. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.